Yeah, turn the speakers up. You're locked in with the best, rolling with Carlos. Let's go.
What's up, Dolphin Nation? What's up, NFL fans? What's up, Standout family? In today's video, we're going to go ahead and cover what did we learn in the week of Dolphins-Commanders joint practice and the preseason opener. But before we go ahead and get started and I read to you the article, I'm going to read to you some trivia. On this date in 2018, Jason Sanders kicked a 47-yard field goal as time ran out in overtime for the 31-28 win over the Bears. What Dolphins wideout forced the extra session when he caught a career-long 75-yard touchdown pass with 3:01 left in regulation. On this date in 2018, Jason Sanders kicked a 47-yard field goal as time ran out in overtime for a 31-28 win over the Bears. What Dolphins wideout forced the extra session when he caught a career-long 75-yard touchdown pass with 3 minutes and 1 second left in regulation? I'll tell you the answer at the end of the video and at the end of my thoughts. Here we go. This article was written by the Sun Sentinel, and I'll tell you who wrote it. David Furones. The Miami Dolphins got their first taste of facing an opponent in the era of new general manager John Eric Sullivan and coach Jeff Hafley. If we're keeping wins and loss record in the preseason, the Dolphins lost the joint practice against the Washington Commanders on Wednesday and lost on the scoreboard 20-7 in Friday's exhibition opener. But much like Miami's upcoming regular season largely won't be judged by wins and losses, neither should the week in the greater Washington, D.C. area be judged. It was about a young team gaining experience and the coaching staff getting an evaluation on which players they can count on and which ones they need more coaching over the next 2 weeks, the preseason. As the youth on the Dolphins roster is learning this preseason, here's what we learned from the week 1 against the Commanders. Willis leads TD drive. We have to temper this by noting the Commanders had 10 defensive starters plus a few others key rotational pieces resting in Friday's preseason game. It was an entirely reserve unit combined with rookie linebacker and a first-round pick, Sony Styles for Washington. But the Dolphins' new QB1 got the job done with his lone series and ran the offense for a long touchdown drive. He delivered throws to slot receiver Malik Washington, who could turn out to be his safety valve when he needed a short completion. He got the ball to rookie standout Caleb Douglas. He made plays with his feet. Definitely a passing grade for Malik Willis in the preseason series. But there is a caveat. When he faced Commanders starting defenders at Wednesday's joint practice, it was a struggle. Backup QBs had an awful night. After the stellar start, it was lackluster for the rest of the way for the Dolphins offense. Quinn Ewers and Cam Miller combined to go 4 of 19 for 66 yards with 3 interceptions. There were bad decisions. There were missed throws. It's also now being revealed, according to a league source, that Ewers suffered a groin injury during the outing. It wasn't all on them, though. There were certain instances where there were pressure. Others where pass catchers either ran the wrong routes or flat out, who wasn't dropping the ball when he was fighting through pass interference and could only go with one hand. The rookie third-round pick out of Texas Tech, Douglas kept his strong camp going by first making plays in the joint practice and then coming down with a highlight reel catch with the left hand as his right hand was tied up. Even better, for Hafley. There was still a lot he did wrong to serve as coaching and teaching points. He lost track of where he was on the field, stepping out of bounds as he caught what was Willis's lone incompletion. He missed a block on a run play, and he didn't run another route correctly, possibly missing out on a separate explosive play. But he could become a go-to receiver for Willis this season, with the past week being a key evaluating him to that potential. Elevating him to that potential. Devon Achane at 5'9", 191 pounds, but even as a diminutive tailback, is known for his speedy and shiftness. He could still go get short yardage opportunities over the bigger Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon II behind him. Achane punched a 1-yard touchdown to cap the scoring drive for the Dolphins on Friday. He got the carry before that from the 2-yard line and ran for 7 yards on an earlier 3rd and 1 carry. Hafley likes Achane's lower body strength and lower center of gravity for a smaller back, making him a candidate to take these short yardage carries come time for the regular season. For one series, Achane took a heavy workload of 7 carries in the exhibition. The Dolphins secondary was picked apart by the Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels at Wednesday's joint practice. Wide receiver Terry McLaughlin, Traylon Burks, and Van Jefferson roamed free down the field, and Daniels delivered passes. There is necessary context, as cornerbacks Chris Johnson, Juju Brents, and safety Dante Trader Jr. were not practicing. The Dolphins' inexperienced secondary was down 3 players to its nickel package. Marco Wilson, who had an interception in the preseason game, Ethan Bonner, AJ Green III, Alex Austin are all receiving elevated reps, while fellow cornerbacks Storm Duck and Darrell Baker Jr. are likely bound to remain on the physically unable to perform list to start the season. Applying the pressure, the Dolphins up front, while also stopping the run, applied pressure on Daniels in spurts. Chop Robertson continues to impress with the lower units on the depth chart. Madison Rager, Cameron Good had sacks in the preseason exhibition, while Max Llewellyn and David O combined for another sack. Defensive end Robert Beal Jr. got his hand up on the ball at the line of scrimmage as linebacker Jacob Rodriguez pressured the passer. Blocking and physicality, the Dolphins' first team offensive line kept a clean pocket. The unit also got pushed up front for the run game. The 2 young guards, Caden Proctor and Jonas Amaya, look good in their first in-game action this season, so that's a plus. New reserve linebacker, Hayden Wallace, had a very nice day in his Dolphins debut after being picked up in a trade with the New England Patriots. Physicality is one of the keys Hafley is trying to install early on, and it's working. Injuries stacking up. The Dolphins came out of the preseason game without any significant injuries, but it was learned Wednesday that defensive tackle Zach Zeeler will be week to week with an undisclosed ailment. Miami may be putting the veteran on ice for the regular season. Linebacker Jordan Brooks sat out the exhibition with minor injury that surfaced after the joint practice Wednesday, but it shouldn't keep him out long, as it seemed more precautionary for him to rest while other starters played. Johnson was also back for the exhibition after missing practice. But now offensive lineman Jameer Slayer is done for the season, and Years has a new injury. Trader, Brent, and wide receiver Kevin Coleman are among the recovery. But for now, offensive lineman Jameer Slayer is done for the season, and Queen Years has a new injury. Trader, Brent, and wide receiver Kevin Coleman are among others recovering from injuries. Giants up next. The Dolphins now have a pair of practices Monday and Tuesday before facing the New York Giants, and a joint practice at home Thursday and hosting them at Hard Rock Stadium for preseason week number 2 on Saturday. Guys, the answer to the trivia question, which wideout caught the wide receiver the 75-yard touchdown pass to take the game into overtime against the Bears, and then Jason Sanders won the overtime session? The name of that wide receiver is Albert Wilson. I appreciate each and every one of you. What we learned from this team is basically they're a young team trying to develop an identity. The media right now believes that we're not going to win a lot of games. We'll see what happens. You never know what happens in a regular season. It's a 17-game season, so you never know. I will give you my prediction towards the beginning or the end of preseason and the beginning, right before the beginning of the regular season. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's see if we can get to 200 subscribers by the end of December 2026 for the Finstock family. And I appreciate each and every one of you for the comments. Like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Dolphins. Peace.
Yeah. Turn the speakers up. You're locked in with the best.